So understand quickly what I'm going to do is that, so you give me this case study. It's not case study, one example, I would say that there are some data you have downloaded from dev environment DB. Another data you have environment from you have downloaded from test environment, and third is you have downloaded from production environment. Okay, so what we are going to do is that, say for example, I'm going to create one uh, Excel sheet blank, and I'll create 3 tabs over here. Okay, dev environment, and then test environment, and then prod environment. Okay, so let me quickly share my screen. I think that I'm not sharing my screen. So yeah, so here I'm sharing the screen. I quickly opened a blank Excel sheet. It has got dev data, test data, and prod data. Now, the very first thing is that data will vary to mandatory fields. Okay, so not necessary always the mandatory fields. M is for mandatory, M2, M3. Okay, say for example, I'm doing over here like this. Okay, so there are 14 columns. Okay, and let's take the same header over here, 14 columns, and same over here. Okay, now there could be some optional as well. Say for example, this one is optional. Okay, and if it is optional, then in this field you may find some data are blank and some has the value. All right, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to bring some dummy data. So say for example, I'm going to bring a dummy data, and I will have the name as well. Okay. Say for example, I'll give the column name. Okay. I'll give the column name. I have give the column name. Sorry, rows name and rows name. Okay. And wait a second. Okay, I'm just going to paste some dummy data in dev environment tab. Okay, so here some data I have pasted. Okay, so some data you have found, and yeah, few are blank. So blank could be a various reason from DB it is coming. There are chances that these are not mandatory data. Okay, so that's the reason they are blank. That is possibility. Okay, now let me paste the same for the test environment. So say for example, I have got the another data for the test environment and another data for prod environment. Now understand, not necessary everywhere data will be the same. Somewhere it may vary, right? And not necessary always, like in dev environment, developer is testing and he may put any random data, vague data. In test environment, testers are testing and they may put any test data. And in production environment, that is the live environment where the end users are transacting or doing some activity. So end user will enter the real time data. Okay, so considering this, now what we have to do, we have to do two things. Okay, you had asked for the comparison between among all three. Okay, so first what I'll do, I'm not going to compare all three together. Why? Because it is possible that dev data will match with the test data but not with prod data, or dev data may not match, may match with test data but not with the prod data. Same thing may happen, the test will match with the dev but not with prod, or also test may not match with the dev but may match with the prod. So if you see, there are total 9 combination. So first I'll compare DT, okay, that is dev and test. Then what I'll do, I'll compare compare test and prod, and then I'll also compare dev and prod, okay, DP. All right. So understand, when I am going to compare this, there are possibility that whatever data I have copied, that may have spaces at the start or spaces at the end, which we call it as a leading or trailing, or leading or trailing spaces. So I'm going to first remove this leading or trailing spaces. So for removing the space, what I'll do, I'll apply the formula as stream, and then parentheses will start. I'll click the first row. Now I'm clicking the control shift and down arrow of the keyboard. I reached to the last column, and now I'll put the control shift and right row of the keyboard to reach at the last column of the last row. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit the enter. Okay, so it has given me the formula. Okay, sorry, it has given me the exact value. It has streamed everything. Okay, so in fact it has streamed everything. Okay, somehow I'm not able to scroll. Okay, yeah, now I have scrolled. So what I'm going to do, after it is streamed, I'm going to copy all this thing, because everywhere, let me repeat this. Okay, let me repeat this for you, is equal to stream. I don't know why did not it come over here, and then okay, somewhere else I was taking it up. So let me quickly go up again, trim A1 to N86. So it should have trimmed, but never mind, it has not trimmed it. So I'll go with only one row for now, one cell in fact. So I have trimmed A1. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to just scroll it down till whatever row I see the data. So it has given the equal value, and trim till whatever data I may see on the right hand side. Okay. Okay, there are much more data coming up. So let me scroll. More data is there. Let me scroll further. More data is there. No, something has gone wrong. Means it should come A2O. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, L, M, N, O. Okay, so from here things are starting. I'm going to remove it. Okay, I'm going to remove it. I have removed. Okay, now what I'm going to do. So first thing is the trimming, removing the spaces. Okay, I have removed the spaces from person ID. Now I don't want this formula to be copied. I want only value to be copied. So I'll go again and place it somewhere at the fresh, but in the same sheet I'm doing. I'll select the first cell and right click, and then paste spatial only value, not the formula. So it has pasted the only value, and I'm going to remove remaining all. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to repeat the same for test and prod and test and prod. Once it is done, now the actual game starts. Okay, let me go to the first cell. So what I have to do, I have to compare. Okay, I have to compare. For comparing, there is a formula, if, and then parentheses will start, and again one more parenthesis. I'll go to comparing between dev and test. I'll go to first dev environment, picking the first data and putting is equal to in sheet test, very first cell, then parenthesis close, then if it is true, write true, or inverted comma close, then if it is false, write false, Okay, and then parenthesis closed. Now I'll drag it again up to O and drag down up to 85. Okay, say for example, so many data. So I have done it. Now a Dave and test comparison is done. Okay, what now I am going to do is that I am going to compare test and prod. Okay, so again the same thing is equal to if parenthesis starts and start, and then going to test and taking the very first cell, and then going to just simply type. I don't need to go anywhere. Start, continue typing, and then now go to prod. Okay, and then select the first cell. Now you have selected. Now close the parenthesis. Now comma, and then again inverted comma, start true, and close inverted comma, then comma, then inverted comma, start for false, and write false, and inverted comma, close, parenthesis close. Hit enter. So I just hit the enter button again till O it goes, and I'm going to till 85 rows, whatever it is. Now two comparison is done. Now coming back over here, comparing between data and production. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to type what if parenthesis starts and parenthesis start, and then go to dev, take the very first cell and close it. No, don't close it. Equal to sign, and then go to prod, and then take the very first cell. Okay, I hope I have taken the very first cell over here. Now I have taken the very first cell in the, sorry. So it has disturbed the formula. Now let me redo this. If parenthesis start, and again one more parenthesis to close the compare, and then close the true false. So first compare will be the first cell of dev environment is equal to, then first cell of the prod environment, and then parenthesis close, then comma, then inverted comma starts, then true, and then comma starts again after closing the true, then inverted comma starts with false, and with false, and parenthesis closed, and I had hit the enter. Now, because it is dummy data, I'm going to tell you something, and then I'm going to pull it down. Okay, till 85. Now what is going to do? I have done comparison. So not necessary that when you will be doing the same thing happen. So in last tab only you will find the false. You may find the falses anywhere. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to now create new tab, new sheet with the value. So I'm keeping it name compare test data, test data and dev data value. Okay. Now what next I'm going to do is this. Man, wait a minute. Let me reshare my screen. Yeah. Let me go to Excel. Yeah. I have given the name. Yeah. I'll give it the name as compare prod and test. So name it as test and prod value, and then another sheet which will be compare dev and prod value. Now when I said value, I'll be fetching the value only. Okay, so let me go back, and I'm going to the compare test and prod. Okay, compare test and prod. So I'll just see control A, control C, and then coming to control this tab, CDT value, that is compare test dev and test data value. So right click, and then paste special, and then choose this value 1, 2, 3, and then go to compare test and prod. You have done it. Compare div and prod. Okay, Control C, and then go to here and paste it. So you may correct it if a sheet is here and there. So never mind. And then final is the dev environment and prod environment. Where is that? Here it is. So I'll just select everything. Control A, Control C, and go over here and paste special. Be very mindful when you are copying from the some data. Okay. Now only values is there. You may not see the in the formula bar the formula. However, when you applied formula, everywhere you will see the formula, not the value. Let's go to where values have been pasted. What you're going to do is that now you are going to do conditional formatting. Okay, how will you do that? Select the entire sheet, then go over here. I don't know what is happening. So go to conditional formatting. In conditional formatting, highlight sales rules and go text that contains what? False. So make it fill with the right. So with custom format, and then format cells. I don't have to format. What I wanted. So wait, let the Excel respond quickly. Yeah, I don't have to. Yeah. For format cells that contains the text false, and then I have to choose custom format, and in custom format go to fill. I'll choose red. Okay, and okay, and then okay. What happened? Nothing worked. Let Because there is no false, I guess that's the reason. Okay, let me redo that. It completely matches. So in this one, let me apply the rule again. Conditional formatting. Sorry, where is that? Okay, here is the conditional formatting. Oh man, wait a second. Conditional formatting, and then text that contains false. So if it is false, it highlights automatically. Okay, then custom format, and then choose red, and then choose okay. All right, now do the same thing over here. Select the entire sheet, conditional formatting, then highlight the text that contains. Remember, you might do something else, but remember to choose this text that contains this one. And again, false, and then custom format this, and then do this. Sorry, my mistake. Custom format, I need to choose as red. So I'm going to choose as red, then say okay. Now you find all the falses. Okay, now what you are going to do is that always DB sends out some you know what, sends out some ID, which is primary key, which is the common, which might be the common. So what I'm going to do is that here I'm once again putting the data, putting the equal to sign, and going to fetch the common ID. Say, for example, person ID is similar for all these things. I'm just giving you example. Okay, I just selected the control shift down arrow, and then I hit the enter. Okay, it did not work. Wait a second. Let me do it again. Is equal to is equal to, I have to simply pull what? Data. All right. Enter. Okay, now it has fetched the value. Now I'll just put the crosshair and double click. Okay, it gave me the entire info. Now Control C, and in the next column Control V, but paste special values. Done. If I want, I can remove this one. All right. Now what else I'm going to do is that Control Shift L, that applies the filter. So in this filter, what I'm going to do is that I'll visit every single cell, and in every single cell, I'll apply the filter of falses. Say, for example, here, all the rows are falses. So I have got all the equivalent person ID. I'll color them out. Okay. Color them out with the yellow, say, for example. Okay. These are the identified differences in these rows. And if you are going to tell your person that what all the primary ID which has the variation in the test data and dev data and prod data. So you can give them, these are the primary ID which has got the differences in the values. So in this value, you can either also apply the directly header. Say, for example, if headers are common, like this, say, for example, these are the headers. So let me go over there. I don't know, it will impact the formula as well. So let me go over here, Control V. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah. So formula is not impacted. I have copied it. What I'm going to do is that I'm just now remove all the filters. Again, Control Shift L. Filter is removed. Now you can name it something O and P. Okay, again, apply the filter, select this and say Control Shift L. And now sort it by color, filter it by color, and all the data which has got the differences, you have got it. Okay, you can copy this and give it to your manager. These are the primary ID which has uncommon data in every environment. That is the one. Or if you want to give something from here, same task you can do over here, same task you can do over here as well, and give that I compare between dev data and test data. They have these columns unequal, which has got the corresponding primary ID. These same you will do with the test data and prod data. Same you will do with dev data and prod data. Now, because I went on a rant and explained you everything, it might be possible that you may feel like, oh, this is something heavy. Again, apply the same thing, anchor, declaration, and study it. So at the count of three, again, you will anchor 1, 2, 3, and anchor. I am a fast learner, and whatever I am going to consume and read and study, I am going to understand in very easy and simplified manner. Okay, I'm able to understand it thoroughly. Okay, if once again do it, 1, 2, 3, and clap. I'm a fast and quick learner. I'm going to understand whatever I'm going to study right now thoroughly, completely, and easily. Done. And then start this video again, and third time, and you are thorough. Okay, I hope you are going to rock. So all the very, very best, and yeah, do well. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.